there were a lot of antebellum reformers. And who has time to remember all of those names anyway? So let's go through the most important ones and help you know what you need to know on your next APUSH test. This is Joseph Smith. He started the religious group known as the Mormons. These guys were a utopian community, meaning that they strove for religious and social perfection, that kind of thing. Next up, we have Henry David Thoreau, famous author. You may have heard of him, wrote Walden. And this guy was a transcendentalist. Hard to pronounce. And these guys had progressive beliefs, meaning that they believed in stuff like abolition. Then there's Dorothea Dix. She was an asylum reform advocate, wanting better conditions for the mentally ill, whereas before they were just clumped in with actual criminals in prison. Then there's Neil Dow. He was a famous fighter for temperance, and temperance is the banning or restriction of alcohol. And efforts from people like Neil Dow led to the prohibition eventually in the 1920s. Horace Mann was the quote-unquote father of American education, and he pushed for, well, education, especially the secular branch of it. He wanted no religion in his schooling. There's Elizabeth Cady Stanton as well. She was kind of an 1800s feminist. She wanted women's rights and suffrage being the right to vote. Sojourner Truth took a slightly different angle, the abolitionist angle, saying that, well, if you're going to want women's rights, you got to also think about the black woman, because black women are women, of course. So you got to free black women before you can say that you're done. Frederick Douglass was a very, very famous abolitionist. You've probably heard of him. And if you didn't know, abolitionism is just getting rid of slavery. Finally, we have Nathaniel Hawthorne, and he is another famous author, but this time romanticist. And Romanticism was a movement that focused on emotion and the beauty of nature. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something.